I love that music so much. It really gets me in the mood for teaching English. If you haven't already noticed, it is raining. We have rain. Lots and lots of rain is falling right now outside my studio window. Fortunately, I am lovely and dry here in my lovely studio, and we are broadcasting now live from the birthplace of the English language. We all know where it is. I know where it is. You know where it is. And if you don't, well, you are about to find out, because this is coming to you live from England. We have so much to do. So much to do. So little time to do it in. Hi everybody. This is Mr. Duncan in England. How are you today? Are you okay? I hope so. Are you feeling happy? Do you have one of these on your face right now? If you don't, well, guess what? By the end of this live stream, you will definitely have something resembling this on your face a little bit later on. By the way, I went to the dentist last week and now my teeth look lovely and white. My dentist said that my teeth are in very good condition. Ooh, fancy pants, Mr. Duncan. How lovely. Thank you for telling us about that. So I am feeling rather pleased. My dentist, by the way, the young lady who takes care of my teeth, she is so lovely. Lydia. Oh, we had such a laugh. We really did. She was so surprised because she had forgotten how tall I actually am. If you meet me in real life, you will realise that I am rather tall. So my dentist was amazed, shocked, surprised when I walked in, and she says, "Oh, I forgot how tall you are. You are so tall and thin." I'm not sure if that's a compliment or not. I will take it as a compliment. So the good news is my teeth are in very good condition, even though at the moment I am suffering because I've just had some of Mr. Steve's lovely bread. And once again, he's put too many seeds in the bread. But I don't have the courage to tell him, because it might upset him. Anyway, here we go. Sunday has returned once more. How has your week been? Has it been a good week? Has it been an interesting week? Has it been a normal week? Average. Normally, if everything goes as usual, we normally say everything is average. Nothing has happened, nothing good, nothing bad. It has been an average week. We have so much to talk about today, by the way. We are revealing the date for the big rendezvous. We are all getting together later this year. It is now arranged, and we will be giving you the date of the big Paris rendezvous. We will be getting together once more. Hopefully, you will be joining us as well. So coming up later on, we are going to announce the date of the Paris rendezvous. That is where we will be. If you want to be there as well, guess what? You have a chance to do it. All of that coming up later on. Of course, I suppose I should also give you your notification that Mr. Steve is on his way. He will be with us at around about 2:30. Steve at the moment, busy upstairs. I think he is actually doing some preparation for today's live stream. Normally he doesn't bother, but today he's up to something, and we will find out what he was up to a little bit later on. Mr. Steve will be with us. So many things to talk about. We have a big subject. We also have a sensitive subject, something that I want to talk about. And of course, because we are all friends here, we can express ourselves in our own personal way. That is the reason why we are here. Oh, live chat, very busy already. Very busy. Hello to the live chat. Nice to see you here today. Lots of subjects to talk about, so I hope you will stay with us. Oh, guess what? Nice. Interesting. In first place, we have Beatrice. Beatrice is live and also first on today's chat. In second place, we have Vitas. Can I say happy birthday to you? Happy birthday. Because it was your birthday, and I did send you a message on Facebook. I hope you received it. Okay, so congratulations, Vitas. Happy birthday. And I hope you had a good time as well. Who else is here? Palmyra. We also have, oh, very interesting. We have football skills and highlights. If you are a regular viewer, you will know that I don't follow football, not like other people. I know football is a popular sport in many parts of the world, but I don't normally follow football. I will be honest with you. Rosa is here. We also have, oh, he is here. And yes, hopefully we will be meeting up on the date that will be mentioned in a few moments from now. The big Paris rendezvous. And of course, hopefully, Luis Mendez will be there as well. Luis, nice to see you back. And yes, the date for the Paris rendezvous has now been arranged. We have confirmed the date, and we will announce it in around about 20 minutes from now. Don't go away. This is your chance to get up close and personal. Not too personal, if you get my meaning, but you know what I mean. We will have a chance to get together, have some fun, and of course enjoy the sights of one of the, I would say, one of the most beautiful places, one of the most interesting places to visit. Paris. Romantic, scenic, some might say sophisticated. We will be talking about that a little bit later on. And what else are we doing? We have a storm at the moment outside. I did mention the weather. I will show you again. So there it is. That apparently is Storm Herminia. Storm Herminia is what you are looking at now. We have a lot of wind, a lot of rain, and it is rather unpleasant outside, but we don't have to worry about that because we are in the studio, and of course we are with you. When I say we, I also mean Mr. Steve. He will be joining us. What else are we doing today? Oh, we are looking at words and phrases connected to man. Mr. Duncan, I don't think you've ever done that before. Words and phrases connected to man. And you might be surprised, because I have to say I was, how many words and phrases and uses there are of the word man. And we can use that word in many different ways. A lot of people say, Mr. Duncan, you are the man. Have you ever heard that expression? If we describe a person as the man, it means they are the one person that they can rely on, or maybe a person who can be trusted in some way. Of course, I am, needless to say, also very manly as well. Just to prove it, this morning when I was getting ready, as usual, I was putting on my lovely Old Spice. Can you see that? And at the top there, on the actual top, it might not actually work. I will try and see. No, it's not going to do it. But it says there at the top, for real men only. Yes, real men use this, and I use it, which means, of course, I must be a real man. By the way, does anyone else use Old Spice? I don't know about you, but I love the smell of Old Spice. And one of the reasons why I love it is because my father used to use Old Spice as well. I also like the container that it comes in as well. It's a very interesting type of container that Old Spice comes in. And I don't know why, whenever I smell Old Spice, I always go back to my childhood. My father getting ready for work. He would be in the bathroom, and then just after shaving he would put some of this Old Spice on. And guess what? Guess who else uses it? Me. I love the smell. I don't know why. I only wish I was getting some sort of reward for mentioning it, but I'm not. I just happen to love splashing it all over my body. On Wednesday, I will mention this now. On Wednesday, it is the Lunar New Year. And for those who follow the lunar calendar, it will be the year of the snake this year. You may have noticed already in my studio behind me, there is a snake lurking around. So on Wednesday, the Lunar New Year, often referred to also as the Chinese New Year, and in the zodiac it is the year of the snake, which also happens to be my birth year as well. So my star sign, lunar star sign, is the snake. What is yours? It all depends on what year you were born. By the way, I will be with you on Wednesday. So Wednesday I am with you, and we will be live on the Lunar New Year's Day as the year of the snake begins. So I hope you will join me for that on Wednesday. I will be live with you on Wednesday from 2 p.m. UK time. Something else I might mention quite a bit today, because this is something I don't normally talk about, but to make sure that people see my videos and my live streams, I always try to encourage my viewers to like and subscribe. I always think it is a nice thing to do. So if you would like to subscribe to my YouTube channel, please do so. You might not realize it, but subscribing to this can also help me as well in the future. It can help my videos to be seen. It can also help you find my lessons and my live streams as well. So I have to say, even though it seems like a very simple thing, liking and subscribing is actually very important. So if you would like to give me a like and if you would like to subscribe, please feel free to do so. Don't forget also to activate your notifications. I will mention it again later on because it is a very important thing. In fact, it can help my work continue in many different ways. The live chat is very busy. I should say hello to everyone. Hello to everyone. Who else is here? Inaki. Mr. Duncan, are you fussy when you are at the dentist, or do you bear whatever comes? I admit that I am quite a moaner. Inaki, I am very good when I go to the dentist, even though sometimes when the dentist is pushing and prodding and scraping, it can be rather uncomfortable. But I am able to withstand the pain. Sometimes your teeth might be sensitive when the dentist is poking with those little sharp tools. It can be rather uncomfortable, to say the least. But no, I'm quite good, which is strange because when I was young, I hated the dentist. I did not like going to the dentist at all. I was very afraid, very scared, because when I was young, I had a rather unfortunate incident when I went to the dentist. They took a lot of teeth out at the same time. Very unusual. I don't think it happens anymore, but because I had quite a few teeth coming through at the same time, my teeth were all starting to come through at strange positions. So what they decided to do was take some of my teeth out. They pulled them out. Not very pleasant. How many teeth did they take out? I will tell you. 10. They extracted 10 teeth at the same time. And it was a horrible experience, and one that haunted me for many, many years. And that is one of the reasons why I refused for many years to go to the dentist. I did not like doing it. Fortunately, my teeth are not too bad. I have one or two small problems, nothing serious, but my dentist said, Duncan, if you carry on cleaning your teeth, you keep good care of them, you should have them for the rest of your life. Hello, Maurizio. Mr. Duncan, the snake behind you is new. The reason why I have the snake behind me is because it is, of course, the Lunar New Year. Some people refer to it as the Chinese New Year. A lot of celebrations coming up. It is the year of the snake. And that is the reason why I have that. Christina says, Mr. Duncan, 10 teeth. 10, yes. It was a horrible experience. And you know what is it? You know how it is when you are young. If you have a bad experience, it can be anything, any sort of experience. It can leave a scar on your memory. So I always have a very unpleasant memory of when I went to the dentist as a child. And yes, they did remove 10 teeth. Not very nice at all. I don't like pain. Please don't get the wrong idea. I don't like pain, but if I'm going to the dentist, then I know that I have to be brave. I have to be strong. I have to be able to take all of the discomfort. That's a good word. Discomfort. Something that gives you discomfort is something that might be painful, or it makes you feel uneasy. You feel discomfort. It's a good word. Yes, thank you, Vitas. It is the year I was born. I was born in the snake year, the year of the snake. I'm sure a lot of people now will be working out when I was born, because of course these particular years come round in a type of cycle, and that is how we do it. Mr. Steve is on his way. I will put the notification on the screen. There he is. Mr. Steve is looking very happy today. The live chat is busy. Have I missed anyone out on the live chat, I wonder? Oh, hello, Feyziev. Hello to you, and good afternoon, Mr. Duncan. Thank you very much. Irene says the weather is horrible in Coburg. Strong winds and rain. It is also very cold. Oh, Maurizio has checked his birth year, and it is also the year of the snake. Isn't that interesting? So you must have been born around the same time as me? I didn't realise we were the same age. I did not know that. Mr. Steve is on his way. For those wondering, he will be with us. We have a lot of things to talk about. We are looking at a very sensitive subject as well today. Recently, you may have heard in the news, a terrible crime was committed in this country, and the person who committed the crime has just been sentenced. Whenever this type of thing happens, people start talking about certain things, certain types of punishment. And once again, here in this country, we are talking about something called capital punishment. Capital punishment is where you end a person's life as punishment for a crime they have committed. So I was just wondering, I was just thinking to myself this morning, maybe we can talk about that. What about in your country? Do you have capital punishment in your country? So this is a very sensitive topic, but I think it is an important one. And the reason is because a lot of people, not only here, but also around the world, in many different countries, often talk about this thing as well. Maybe you agree with it. Maybe you think it is a good idea. If a person commits a terrible crime, their punishment should fit the crime that they committed. We will say, we will describe it as capital punishment. Coming up in a few moments, we do have Mr. Steve, and also hopefully we have you as well. Keep it right here, please. Even though the weather is terrible outside, I hope you can keep me company today. Mr. Steve is coming up, and yes, he will be with us live in the studio. Don't go away. boy now. English Addict is with you today. I hope you are having a good day wherever you are. It is myself, Mr. Duncan, but also someone else. It isn't just me. Don't worry. You don't have to sit for 2 hours with me because we have someone else here as well. Another presenter, guest, call him what you will. He is here, and of course he is here every Sunday. You know who it is. I know who it is, and in a moment you will know who it is. It is, of course, Mr. Steve.
Hello, wonderful, beautiful viewers from across the globe. Here we are once again. It's Sunday. That means it must be time for English Addict. It's really cold here, freezing cold. I've been outside. The tips of my fingers, Mr. Duncan, are numb with the cold. I've been clearing out some trash or rubbish, as we say in the UK, and getting it ready for the dustbin collection this week. However, in other parts of the world, it's very hot. In Argentina, it's very hot, apparently.
Beatrice was telling us, yes, Beatrice just mentioned the fact that it's boiling hot, and also that there is a problem with the electricity as well.
So it's 3 degrees here and probably 33 degrees in Argentina, and of course in many other hot places around the globe. So it just shows you the extremes of temperatures that we have that our viewers are putting up with. Including ourselves. I'm freezing. I'm really cold, Mr. Duncan.
Yes.
I haven't eaten enough. Have you ever found that when you don't eat very much, you feel colder? That's what you've got to do, Beatrice. Eat nothing, and you will automatically, your body will go into energy conservation mode, and you will be cooler. It's not recommended for long periods of time, though.
No, I would say it's not a good idea. Anyway, let's join ourselves together on the screen. There we are. There is Mr. Steve and also myself, Mr. Duncan. For those wondering, who are those strange people on my screen? English Addict is with you today. Something we are going to mention quite a lot today, and we are going to encourage everyone watching is to like and subscribe. So you will see this on the screen quite a lot today. Please like and please subscribe. We don't normally mention it very often, but I think it is a very important thing to actually bring up, because this, believe it or not, this thing here can help us to be seen across YouTube. It might seem like a very small thing, but it is actually quite important. So if you could like and subscribe and also get your notifications, make sure you also click on the bell so you won't miss any of this. Trust me.
And if you have time and if you feel inclined after you've watched one of Mr. Duncan's videos, if you can write a comment underneath. Doesn't matter if it's a bad comment. Write whatever you want, as long as you write a comment, because that's another thing that will help Mr. Duncan's channel. So yes, like, subscribe and make comments if you can. That would be most grateful. You'd be very grateful, wouldn't you, Mr. Duncan?
I would be very grateful. And we call this engagement. It is a word that's been around for many years. Engagement means the interaction or the way in which people are viewing content, types of content. So engagement is how long a person watches you for without falling asleep or clicking away. So please give us a like, subscribe, and also you can leave a comment below after this video has processed.
And not just for these live streams, but for anything that you watch in Mr. Duncan's. Before you've even watched it, you just click on the... I do this to other people's channels if I'm watching YouTube videos. I just click like before I even start watching it because it just helps people, doesn't it? It just helps people's channels because it's a bit of a struggle for a lot of people to make their way in the YouTube world. It's
a nice way of doing something, and in a small way it is going to help that creator.
Vitas said he was first.
Sorry?
He was first to give you a like, and thank you very much for your support to Mr. Duncan's channel. And talking of helping, Junaid Khan has said today that they're studying chemical engineering. Very clever, very clever. Anything to do with chemicals and engineering, you've got to be quite clever to be able to do that. I wanted to do what did I want to do? Industrial chemistry when I was younger, but I wasn't clever enough. So you must be very clever. Anyway, you are helping them with their assessment. They're having some kind of interview to do with no doubt their degree course. And Junaid Khan says that you're helping a lot with that. Well, that's what we're here for. That's what Mr. Duncan's here for. Well, it's an English teaching channel, so we hope you learn something every week.
This is the reason why this type of live English stream is so important. And the reason why it is important is it gives you a chance to have an English environment. Because it's live, it is spontaneous. Quite often we don't know what we are going to say. I certainly don't know what Mr. Steve is going to say, because sometimes Steve does say things that I might have to apologise for. I might. Now and again. Not very often.
Sometimes my comments come from left of field.
Yeah, anyway, Steve.
There's a good expression.
Yes.
Something that comes from left field or left of field. I think it's a cricketing expression. And it just means it comes from an unexpected place. You weren't expecting it.
Something unexpected.
That was a left field comment. Somebody might say, if you're in a meeting somewhere and you suddenly come out with something that had nothing to do with the rest of the discussion or wasn't expected, you can say that was a left field expression or left of field. I think it's something to do with cricket.
Yes.
A ball coming from an unexpected place.
Okay, that's it. Yes, it's just an unexpected moment. Anything that's unexpected. But talking of things that are unexpected, we experienced something this week, and I think this is actually a good opportunity to mention this particular topic. This is something this week, a thing this week that happened. Now, if you were watching last Sunday, you will know that we were talking about our lovely dishwasher and the fact that it stopped working. It broke.
Our 40-year-old dishwasher.
Can you believe it? A couple of days ago, just randomly, I decided to try the dishwasher. And guess what? It actually worked. It has come back from the dead. And I've decided to name this the dishwasher miracle. It is a miracle, Mr. Steve. I don't know how it happened, but it is definitely a miracle. And there, just to prove it, you can see lots of lovely clean dishes in the dishwasher. So the dishwasher is working again. But it was completely broken. It wouldn't work. We didn't fix it. We didn't do anything to it. We just left it. And then randomly I just decided to see if it worked. And it did. And now it works perfectly normally again. So I am calling it the dishwasher miracle. It is. It is a miracle. It really is. And it led me to think about the word, Steve. The word miracle.
Yes.
Because it is a word that we use quite often. In fact, it is used quite a lot in areas such as science, technology, anything where new things can come along. So I thought it would be interesting to talk about this for a few moments. A miracle is an occurrence that is outside our real world understanding. So that is the general term for miracle. So it isn't directly connected to what we would assume, which is of course religion. However, it is in there. So a miracle is an occurrence that is outside our real world understanding. Things that we can't physically touch or see, a thing that appears to happen. And the reason for it often remains unknown. So I think it is an interesting word that is used quite a lot. A miracle is often attributed as a religious act from God, of course. So this is the more common use that many people might relate the word miracle to. Miracle.
Like Jesus, for example.
Well, he did a lot of miracles.
Healing people. Blind people could see, etc. Something that is outside your normal understanding. Probably happens very quickly. And it's unexplained by sort of the normal sort of laws of nature and everyday experience.
Yes, it exists outside our realm of understanding.
Blood appearing from a stone, or from some religious symbol.
Well, quite often. There have been instances of religious statues crying, tears appearing, and other types. Maybe a person is making their breakfast in the morning, and suddenly when their toast pops up, they see something that resembles maybe a religious symbol or something that makes them think, oh, this could be some sort of message, but also maybe it is a type of miracle, something that is very unusual. Quite often something you weren't expecting or something outside your ability to understand that particular thing. Rather like the dishwasher, which had completely broken, but for some reason decided to start working again.
I was going to say, of course, you can use that word quite loosely, can't you? I mean, when you talk about the dishwasher miracle, of course, we know in reality it's not really a miracle.
No, but in that sense, we don't know how it happened.
We don't know how it happened, but we can sort of say it's a miracle. We can often say, sometimes things happen in life and unexpected things happen.
Well, unexplained things.
Sometimes even... sometimes even things that we can exaggerate the use of the term miracle, can't we, sometimes, to almost encompass things that you can understand, but we like to sometimes call them a miracle, even though the true definition of the word would be something totally unexplained, whereas we probably could find out why the dishwasher started working again. It's probably... it's an old, very old, 40-year-old analogue machine.
Yes. And
probably a spring inside it decided to change direction or something, and it started working again.
Another use of miracle, a wondrous example of surpassing a certain standard or quality. So maybe this might relate to what Steve just said. Something that seems miraculous, like a miracle. So some sort of movement, some sort of invention, something that goes beyond what is normally expected or something is normally capable of doing. A wondrous example, wondrous, something amazing, something almost unbelievable.
Here's something here, Mr. Duncan. Lewis says there are no miracles. If you stick to the strict definition of it, you could probably be right there. But then Inaki says, the one miracle I know is finding Mr. Duncan's channel.
Oh.
YouTube.
Well,
you could describe that as a miracle.
Yes. Well, I always say that. It is a miracle that anyone finds us on YouTube.
So thank you for that.
Yeah, that's a very, very good example. So something wondrous, something that surpasses a certain standard or quality. For example, you might say the miracle or a miracle of modern science. So we often put the word miracle when we are stating how certain things have become better, more advanced, more complex, or something that is able to do more than it did in the past. So you might say that something is a miracle of modern science. I would say things like vaccines, certain types of medicine, certain treatment could be described as a miracle of science.
A microwave oven, I've heard those described as miracles because you can't really see how it works.
No.
Flying, being able to get into an aeroplane, you could describe that as a kind of miracle because you can't understand how it works by just looking at it or how it happens. But we're not using it in the absolutist way of a miracle. I mean, the absolutist definition is the religious one.
Well, Steve, can I just say that is actually the secondary. So if you look at the dictionary, they always put the main meaning of a word first. So the main meaning is just something outside the realm of understanding. Second, and this surprised me, second was the religious context of it.
Right.
So it actually came second. So you will notice that if you ever look at a dictionary, you will find the order in which the things are listed normally is how near or true to that definition it is. So as it goes down, it is generally things that are related to that word or phrase. So we can also say a miracle of technology. I would say, Steve, right now, what we are doing, literally is a miracle of technology.
That's it. The fact that we can appear and you can watch us could be described as a miracle of technology. And of course, it means that you can do something that you couldn't do before in quite a spectacular way. Of course, some people might say technology is a curse. It depends on what view you have of that or what your own relationship is with technology, for example. But it could be a miracle, or the opposite is that is a curse, really.
I would definitely say in this situation, this is a miracle of technology, because we can just stand here on our little mossy rock known as Great Britain and we can talk to you as the rain falls on the roof of my studio. So I think it is interesting how the word miracle is often used. Generally, we will describe something unlikely as an outcome, as a miracle. So something that you think won't happen. So maybe, Steve, we are waiting for a friend to arrive and we know that person is always late. but suddenly they arrive on time. You might say, it's a miracle they're actually on time, because you weren't expecting it.
You might be on the way to a job interview or going to the theatre, and you have all sorts of hold-ups. There's a big hold-up on the road. There's been an accident. You're stuck in traffic. Then then you run out of petrol or fuel, and when you arrive, you might say, you're meeting friends.
Yes.
You could say, I don't know how I got here. It's a miracle. Because you had to overcome so many obstacles along the way to get to that particular destination. You could say it's a miracle. Or you could go for a job interview and you thought you came out, you thought you were dreadful in the interview. You said all the wrong things, you couldn't answer some of the questions, and then you ended up getting the job. You might say, I don't know how I got that job. It's a miracle.
Yes.
Yeah, exactly. So that's ways of you could use it.
Well, I would say I have experienced what would, to many people, be described as a miracle. So something that you felt you would not be able to achieve, but you actually do achieve it. Something that you don't expect to happen, but in fact it does happen. From simple things like getting to the bus stop before the bus arrives, even though you know you are late for the bus. Fortunately, you were late, but so was the bus. You can say, oh, it's a miracle. The bus is also late. Right up to a person recovering from a serious operation or an illness. So they maybe their life is in danger, maybe they are facing a very serious illness, and over time they become well, they recover. Again, a miracle. So some people would say that is a miracle, because it seemed unlikely that person would survive. So I always find with words like this how interesting they are and how differently they are used.
Yes, and Christina says, is it a miracle or is it chance? So yes, you could say that if something happens and you say it's a miracle, in fact it could be just chance. Randomness has resulted in has got you the result you want, or an unexpected result. Yes, it could be just random chance.
Yes, it's rather like throwing 2 dice in your hand, and you keep throwing it, and each time you throw the dice you make a note of what they come out as, and over time you might notice a pattern forming as you are doing it. So it isn't necessarily something being controlled by other things. It is just, as you said, Steve, the chance or the probability of that thing happening. I think Richard Dawkins gave a very interesting speech about this, how quite often things we see, we might accidentally see something that appears to be another thing, just for those brief few seconds, because of the chances of that thing actually occurring. You just happen to be the person who is in that particular place at that time when you looked up in the sky and a cloud appeared and it was shaped like something that might be significant to you, but then suddenly it vanishes again. That might be taken as some sort of sign or a miracle, or it might just be a random moment occurring. So I do find these things very, very interesting and rather fascinating, to be honest. Mr. Steve.
Well, yes.
Oh, sorry.
I was going to say, have any miracles happened to you?
Oh.
Have you ever thought to yourself, that was a miracle? Something really, truly unexpected, or random, or just spectacular. obviously apart from finding Mr. Duncan's channel,
Yes.
which we've just taken as read now,
Yes.
that this is a miracle.
I'm not sure if it's a miracle or maybe just a moment of time that occurred and you just happened to be there in the same place as me, and then we managed to meet. Of course, another thing people might say is fate. It is something that was going to happen anyway. So I always find these words, fate, miracle, those two words especially, they are interesting words because they have a very deep, profound meaning.
Flower says, for me, a miracle is when science says it's impossible for a couple to have a child, but then it happens. Yes.
Good one.
You often hear the word, the miracle of birth. That's another phrase that's often used, because it just seems like how could it possibly happen?
Yes.
How could you possibly produce a child?
Yes.
It's just something we don't really understand. Science tries to explain it. But of course, you never can fully explain these things. It appears to be miraculous, which is another way of expressing it.
Yes.
It's miraculous.
Well, there are still more things we don't know about everything than the things we do know. So I would say everything we know about the known universe, everything around us, is still very, very little. So there is still more we don't know about everything than what we do know, which is the reason why things like miracles, something that appears to be more than it actually is, can sometimes have a deep and profound effect, because so much is unknown still, even though we are living in the 21st century. It's very strange. Mr. Steve, we are approaching 3 o'clock and we are about to do something really big. Are you ready to do something big, Mr. Steve?
I am indeed, Mr. Duncan. I'm always ready.
As you know, the past 2 years we've had some special events arranged by myself and Mr. Steve where we meet up with you in person. We did one 2 years ago in Paris. We did one last year in Italy. We met up in Rome. This year we have decided to go back to Paris. We are having the Paris Rendezvous 2025. And right now we are going to announce the date on which it is happening. So this is the date when we will all be meeting up. Also, if you can't attend, if you can't get there, don't worry, because we will be live as well. We will be live on YouTube on the very same day. So here we go then, Steve. It's coming up right now.
Da, 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 da. Have we got a drum roll?
I've got a bread roll. Is that the same?
We've been talking about this for weeks and weeks.
It is true.
Finally, that time has arrived.
Yes. So here we go then.
Pen's at the ready. Have you got your pen ready? Your diary open?
Make a note of this date. This is the date when we will be meeting up. The Paris Rendezvous 2025 will be happening on the Paris Rendezvous will be happening on Sunday, the 1st of June 2025. That is when we are meeting up. Sunday, the 1st of June. Make a note. There I am already getting excited with my hot croissants.
Well, Mr. Duncan, unfortunately, I'm busy on that day. So I won't be able to go. I'm joking. I'm joking, of course.
Of course you're joking. Mr. Steve will be there. I will be there. The Paris Rendezvous, Sunday, the 1st of June. So we have managed to arrange this early, so everyone will have a chance. Everyone will have an equal chance to join us when we get together in Paris on Sunday, the 1st of June 2025. Write it down in your diary, make a note of it. So if you have a chance, if you are living in another country, maybe you are planning to take a trip or have a holiday or a short break, we will be in Paris, and guess what? We will all have a chance to meet up.
So and I was going to say, you can always look back to see how exciting it is at the last year's live stream in Italy, and also the year before in Paris. It is exciting. It's wonderful to meet you. We've met a number of you over the last 2 years, and if you want to come and you can come, it would be lovely to see you.
Yes. Everyone will be welcome. So if you are planning a short trip, maybe you are in Europe, maybe you are planning to do a tour of some European countries, why not drop in and see us on Sunday the 1st of June. We will be in Paris, and if you are interested, I will be setting up a WhatsApp group for all those who are interested in attending the Paris Rendezvous 2025. There will be a new group. So if you are interested, please let me know one way or another. You have plenty of time to arrange it, because of course it is only January. June the 1st is a long way off. It is very far away. So you have plenty of time in which to arrange it. If you are interested in doing it, I've already had at least 3 confirmations. Beatrice wants to come. Francesca has already said, I am interested. And of course, Luis Mendez. We are looking forward also to meeting up with you again in Paris. And that is the date. It is now official. Sunday, the 1st of June. I will mention it a few more times. So this will not be the only time that I mention it. I will mention it a few more times as well, just so you know. That is when it is happening.
If people want to go, what should they do?
Well, as I've just said, I will put forward a WhatsApp group for everyone to join. At the moment, I know it's early, so check your diaries, check your plans, check your calendar, and if you are interested in joining up, I will put my email address on the screen in a few moments, Steve. I will do that. If you want to join us on Sunday the 1st of June 2025, that is what you should do.
So send you an email first, Mr. Duncan, and then
just send an email and say I'm interested.
And then we'll set up a WhatsApp group.
Yes.
For that. So, it's exciting, Mr. Duncan. We've actually got time to plan things this year.
So I will put the email address on the screen. Just give me one moment. I will do that for you.
I'll let you do that. Apparently, it's Monte Elia says that it's a national holiday in Italy on the 2nd of June, which means that people are on holiday, which means that might help people actually from Italy who might want to go. We didn't realise that. So that's a bonus that it's actually then.
So I've put the email on the screen now. You can stay in touch. You can also contact me if you are interested in meeting up with the Paris Rendezvous that is taking place on Sunday the 1st of June 2025. There it is. There is my email address. Just send me a note, send me a message saying please, Mr. Duncan, I would be very interested in joining you then. We will be spending a short time in Paris, so there might be other opportunities to meet up, but the big get-together, the big meet, will take place, as I said, on Sunday, the 1st of June. That is when we will all be getting together and doing our thing.
A live stream.
Yes. I can't wait.
And then we'll go for something to eat. Or do that before.
So there it is. I will leave it on the screen for a few more moments. That is the date. And just to make sure everyone gets it, because I'm always told off by my viewers saying, Mr. Duncan, you don't give us enough time. You don't give us enough time. So here is the email address. There it is. And I look forward to hearing from you. It should be a very interesting time indeed. If the previous meetings have been anything to go by, it will be an amazing time.
1 year, Mr. Duncan, in the not too distant future, I envisage us having to hire a meeting room in a hotel somewhere because so many people will want to turn up. We cannot be traipsing round the streets of whichever city it is, causing a great deal of disturbance to the locals. We will probably have to one day hire a meeting room in a hotel and have some speakers come along. I can see that like a sort of a conference. A conference, an
Yes.
English conference.
Anyway, we won't be doing that just yet.
We won't be doing that just yet, but in the future,
That's it.
I can envisage it. I can feel it. I can taste it.
So the meeting will be in Paris, not in any place. It will be somewhere, a location in Paris, and we can all get together. Lewis mentions something that I talked about last Wednesday, the Orangery, which is a lovely museum. And in that particular museum, in fact, it's divided into two halves. So they have various exhibitions in one half, and in the other half they have a display of beautiful paintings by the artist Monet, of his beautiful water lilies. And they are no ordinary paintings because they are huge. And it has been for many years, because I do like the Impressionists. I like that type of painting, that type of representation, artistic representation of shape, colour and form. So I will be doing that. I think also we are going to the Louvre as well, aren't we, Steve?
Definitely, and of course we want to go to the famous, I can't remember the name of it, that burnt down. Oh. Come on, Mr. Duncan, help me out here.
Notre Dame.
Notre Dame. The bells. Yeah, we want to go to Notre Dame. You've probably got to book that. But yeah, I've never been to the Louvre, so we want to go there.
Yes.
And obviously, and so yeah, if you want to go, let Mr. Duncan know, and then you could just express an interest at this stage, and then as it gets nearer the date, But that date is fixed now.
That's it.
We've booked the flights and the hotel, so we are going. There is no backing out now.
No,
I've paid for it.
We're not. Okay, Steve. We're not planning to change anything.
No.
So we will be there, and we are giving you the opportunity to be there as well. So that's it. So we can't move it. We can't change it. That's it. It is a done thing on the 1st of June 2025.
It's exciting.
Steve is very excited. I have to say I am. I'm looking forward to seeing all of the art. I'm looking forward to trying all of the food. And of course, I'm looking forward to meeting you as well. We will all get together. How does that sound? It sounds very good. Mr. Steve, why are we here?
You mean our purpose in life?
Well, I was thinking more about the live stream.
Oh, right, okay. I was thinking of something deeper. Why are we here to teach English, Mr. Duncan?
Yes. Well, we are looking at an interesting word that occurs commonly, quite commonly, in the English language. It pops up all the time. However, it is also a word that in certain situations has become rather controversial. Some people don't like the word. Some people choose not to use it. They would rather use something else instead.
Ooh.
All of that coming up in a moment. We are looking at the word man. Don't go away. I have to say, that was a fun time we had there on the beach, building sandcastles, playing around. Manly things. We are talking about the word man in a few moments. Mr. Steve, it is often said, he is very manly. Look at that. He's so muscular and strong
I'm
and
bulging out of this shirt, Mr. Duncan.
virile. Mr. Steve,
Yes.
do you realise that was nearly 7 years ago?
7 years ago.
That is so shocking. That was way back in 2018.
How time
It
flies,
really does.
as we say.
Yes.
And I look exactly the same.
You know what, Steve? I was about to say that. You do look exactly the same.
I don't think so.
You haven't changed. You look exactly the same.
I
Maybe-
feel older.
Well, that is something we can't do anything about. Mr. Steve, we love English. We love talking about the English language. And right now we are looking at words and phrases connected to something that I suppose over the years has become a word that for some people might be seen as controversial, offensive, even intimidating in certain ways. We are looking at the word man. Now, don't get too excited if you are looking now at the screen. There are, yes, lots and lots of men there on the screen in their underwear. Fortunately, it's very small, so you can't see them. But please don't get too excited. Try to control yourself. You too, Mr. Steve. So the word man. We often think of the word man as being one particular thing, but you might be surprised to find out just how many ways in which man is used. And we are going to look at quite a few of the different ways. Some of the ways in which it was used in the past, and some of the ways in which the use of man has changed over the years. So, Mr. Steve, in general terms, the word man refers to someone with male characteristics. That is to say, an adult male. Like Mr. Steve. Look at that. If ever you needed a representation of masculinity, no, that definitely is not it. I'm pretty sure.
I've never been described as manly.
Yeah. So we often see the word man as referring to a person with male characteristics. The word man also refers to the species Homo sapien, or human beings. So this is an interesting way of looking at that particular word, certainly in its original use. The original use of man, of course, relates to us being Homo sapiens, human beings, humankind. Man was the generic term. So not just related to men or women, it was related to humans as an individual species. So if you ever watch Sir David Attenborough, here in the Galapagos Islands, where man has rarely trod, you see? So even David Attenborough will quite often mention man, but what he's actually saying is humans, human beings.
Mankind.
Definitely. I was expecting more than that, Mr. Steve, from you.
Well, you've described it so well, Mr. Duncan, I've got nothing else to add.
Oh, that's good.
Yes, mankind.
Anyway.
It's not referring to male. It's not referring to the sex.
Not in that case.
We're not referring to the sex. We're just referring to the species.
That's it, the gender. The reference to man as a species
Human.
Okay, Steve. The reference to man as a species is used without regard to gender. So that is what Steve just said. The reference to man in this particular case is used without regard to gender. We are basically saying human beings, man, humans. In fact, that's how the word came about, believe it or not. That's how it actually came into being. The word mankind, this is the one Steve just used. The word mankind relates to humans. The word man relates to all states of humanity. All of the human conditions can be attributed to man as an individual species. So I always find that quite interesting. Mankind is a phrase we often use when we are talking generally about the achievements, the human achievements, would you say, Steve?
Yes. Mankind's abilities, mankind's achievements. Yes, you can use it to refer to a collective, in that sense, collective achievements of the species, which is us, and what we're capable of doing.
The phrase dawn of man. So you will often hear this mentioned, especially if you are watching something anthropology, maybe a documentary about anthropology, the origins of all of the animals, including us. You might hear the phrase dawn of man as a reference. It is a reference to the earliest days of humans on this planet. So we're not just talking about man as the gender, we are talking about human beings, the dawn of man.
300,000 years ago, or whatever scientists like to tell us these days.
I always remember that wonderful scene at the start of Stanley Kubrick's 2001, A Space Odyssey. That wonderful moment where the animal, ape-like, stands up and throws the bone into the air, and it spins around. And that is the birth of, I suppose, our basic instincts, which are, of course, to survive and fight. Because, of course, in that scene, There was a huge fight taking place, wasn't there, Steve?
I vaguely remember it. I can't remember what happens, though.
They were fighting over...
Do they all get into a spaceship?
No, they were fighting over that large, strange object.
Oh, yes, the obelisk.
Yes, they found this strange object, and it made them afraid. They became scared, and then they started to fight. And that was the moment where those instincts of survival, including the ones that are quite negative, came about. So I always find that quite an interesting opening for the discussion of mankind. So we will often hear the phrase dawn of man. Man, of course, Steve, can refer to person. So generically, a general way of using the word man is person. A man is a person.
You mean like, oh, come on, man, let's go for a beer? Do you mean that type of use?
In the sense of just a general person. A person. Yeah. Something that is used by a person. Something that is there in place for a person to use. So there are many words that use the word man to refer to something that is to be used by a human or a person. For example, here we go, Steve. We're getting to the meat and the bones.
The nitty-gritty.
The meat.
The detail.
Manhunt. We use this phrase quite often. Even these days, we use the word manhunt, which means the search for someone. You are looking for someone. The police might be searching for a missing person. They will conduct a manhunt.
Or somebody that might have committed a crime.
Yes.
Might be on the loose. And the police say, well, we've instigated a manhunt.
Mm.
I mean, sometimes it will be that they are after a male person.
Yes.
But in this context, it doesn't refer to the sex of the person.
No.
It is just referring to looking for a person, a member of the human race.
Yes. So in this sense, manhunt means the search for someone, that you are just looking for someone. For example, in the sentence, a manhunt has been launched. They are searching the forest. They are searching the rivers. They are looking. There is a manhunt taking place as a generic term. Basically, they are looking for someone. They are searching for a missing person. Then, of course, Steve mentioned this earlier, mankind, humanity, as a human, generally speaking. For example, we have that famous speech, that famous moment, stepping foot on the moon for the first time. One small step for man, one giant leap for mankind. One of the most famous moments of history, I would say, ever.
Well, that was interesting because he was... Yes, was he referring, when he says one small step for man, did he mean himself as a male?
No.
One giant leap. Yeah, okay.
Well, it is a kind of poetic thing.
Yes.
So I think you're right, actually. As I was thinking then, I think you are right. It is a kind of poetic thing. As I understand it, he actually got it wrong. Apparently some people said he didn't actually, he'd memorised it, but when he said it, because of the nerves, he didn't quite say it the way he intended. But I still think it's amazing. One small step for man, meaning him, one giant leap for mankind, which means all of us.
All of us.
Yeah, I like that, Steve. That's pretty cool, actually.
But of course, he could have meant man in the sense of not attaching a gender to it. We'll never know. But anyway, that is an example of the use of that phrase.
Mm. Man as a verb. You can use the word man as a verb. And again, it's an interesting use to take your position in a certain place. Maybe you are on a ship. Maybe you have to be in a certain place or a certain position. You man something. For example, we will man the lighthouse. You are there. You are in that place. That is your responsibility, and that is where you will be situated.
You might man a gun.
Yes.
You're in a position behind a gun. Again, it's not referring to the gender, although in the two cases we've mentioned, probably men would do those roles. But that doesn't. There is no agenda attached to that particular term, because it's derived from the word mankind.
Yes. So in that sense, a person is there in that position. So you man something. You man the lifeboats. That means you are putting people in to the lifeboat. That will be their place, their position. So it is, again, a very interesting use of what is, on the surface, a very simple word. Here we go, Mr. Steve. I know you wanted to say this.
Manhole. An opening to an underground tunnel. We will go down the manhole to check the pipes or the sewers.
Yes.
I mean, you see these in roads, don't you, on pavements, often used a lot in comedy sketches where people fall down a manhole. It's like a metal plate, an iron plate in the road. Could be leading to drains, it could be leading to pipes or cables.
That's the cover, isn't it?
Yes, it's the cover.
And then you take the cover out, and then there's a hole. And quite often you can fall into a manhole.
The manhole is the hole itself. You can have a manhole cover, which would be made of metal usually, probably plastic these days. But we see them everywhere. They're probably called different names in different countries. But we in the UK we call them a manhole. A small opening that a person can go down underground, beneath the surface of the road or the pavement.
Yes.
There's probably steps inside. Have you ever been down a manhole, Mr. Duncan?
I've been down a couple.
Right. It would always scare me to go down a manhole. Because you don't know, it's going to be dark, smelly.
As they say, if you go down a manhole, you never know what you are going to find.
There's probably monsters down there. That's what I would think.
Here's another one, Steve. Manpower. Again, another interesting term. Manpower. The people needed for work to carry out a certain task. The people that you have to have there. The manpower. Again, it is not referring to men as the gender. It just means people. The people needed. Manpower. We need more manpower. It means we need more people.
These buildings aren't going to be aren't being put up quick enough. We need more manpower. Hire some more people.
That's it.
Some more bricklayers, some more electricians, whatever you need to get the project done.
Do we have the manpower to build this? Again, do we have enough people? Do we have enough workers? Enough people to carry out the task? Here's another one, Steve. Man hours. Man hours, the time used for working. So during a period of activity where you are carrying out a task, doing a job, your man hours, the hours or the time used for working during that particular period.
And that work could be being carried out by a man or a woman, a male or a female person, but we would still say man hours because man refers to mankind.
It will take 20 man hours to do this. That means it will take a group of people 20 hours to carry out a certain job or a certain task.
And that's used, that word man hours is used to calculate often how much it will cost to perform a particular task or to get a particular project done. It would be used in the assessment of the costs of carrying out a particular task.
Yeah. Here's another one. Oh, handyman. Everyone has a handyman in their local area. There might be someone who lives nearby who will do lots of little jobs, fixing small things, fixing small problems. A handyman, a person who does general fixing.
General little jobs, putting up hinges, putting a door up, fixing a broken door or a cupboard, doing a bit of odd gardening jobs, things that you wouldn't need a specialist person to come in and do. Somebody who can just turn their hand to any little task.
Yes.
All those little jobs that we often get, that things break, small things break, and you need a handyman to come in and do it.
Maybe something in your kitchen, maybe there is something broken, maybe one of the handles has come off your drawer or off your cupboard. You might have a person come round and they will fix it for you, a handyman. We employ a handyman to take care of the garden, even though, if you notice, I've spelt the word employ incorrectly. I've missed out the O, but the word is employ. Here we go, another one, Steve. A general term, workman. A general labourer. The general term for a person who works. Normally, now this is normally manual work, would you say?
Yes, a workman. Somebody, yes, my mother used to use that phrase a lot. She used to say, you look at the workman in the road.
Yeah.
Yes, it's generally associated with people doing sort of non-specialist work.
Well,
manual work, I would say.
Heavy lifting, heavy work.
Digging up a road.
That's it.
Something that you wouldn't necessarily attach a lot of skill to, but needs a lot of manual muscle to do it. So again, the phrase doesn't refer to a particular gender, although in this case you would probably find a lot of men, males, actually doing that kind of hard labour work.
Yes, and that's why it's so interesting, you see, how this word has kind of developed into having more than one use. Instead of it just meaning human being, it's now for the male gender, but also as a person in general. But we would assume, as Steve just said, that a person who was digging the road would be a man, but of course nowadays women can also do the same thing. I mean,
but going back to that work, just a slight difference there between somebody who is, say, a workman and a builder. A builder, I mean, builders and workmen do manual work, but a builder would be seen as somebody with more skill.
Yes.
A workman is somebody doing manual work, but isn't seen as particularly skilled.
Yes.
In doing it.
Okay.
So there you go.
The plural of man is men. So when you have lots of men, one man, many men, rather like my picture. There you see, there are many men.
Are we referring to a gender in this case?
We are.
We are.
Yes. So in this sense, men refers to an actual group of males, men, in a group. Of course, it can also refer to a place that is designed for men. Maybe a toilet. So the men's toilet. It is for the men to use. Of course, these days, that's all I'm saying. Men have fought and died for this country. But of course, in the past, it would be mainly men who would fight in wars. The use of man is also specific to gender, and this is this is a little bit like a minefield that we are now walking into. The use of man is also specific to gender. An adult male human is a man. So we don't describe a young male as a man. We use boy. So boy is a young male. A fully grown male is man. So that is how it's normally used in that respect.
Of course, you don't really become a man, do you, until you've done something manly. I don't think there's anything in law that determines when you've crossed over between being a boy and a man. Normally, you have to do something that a man would normally do to be called a man. Maybe beat somebody up.
Okay, Steve. That's a very odd choice.
Or, well, but I mean, yes, you know what I mean. Date your first girl. Let's just keep it like that.
Okay.
I'm a man now.
Well,
when you've done something that is a characteristic, obviously, quite often attributed to what men do.
Yes. Well, what I'm trying to get to is there's normally an age.
Yes.
We often describe it as manhood. So you go from being a young person to being a full adult or a man. So you are an adult male. So normally I would say 18, 21, those seem to be the two ages that a lot of places use to define that divide between being a boy or a youth and then being a man. So I think that's quite interesting. So man refers to the male, woman refers to the female. Always very interesting though, isn't it? The word woman still has the word man contained within it.
Yes.
Because it is human. It is the human. That's
mankind.
So it refers to the human. It isn't referring to gender. It's how those things have been adapted over the years. So a woman is female. And once again, we have the word male. Even in female, there is still the word male. In this sense, the word relates to gender. We are very sure of that in this situation as we are showing it now on the screen. Just in case anyone wants to try and cancel us. It is worth noting that neutral gender terms are often used nowadays, Steve. You may have noticed, you may have read in the news that certain terms, certain phrases are not good or not used anymore. They are seen as being politically incorrect. Terms that are used nowadays. We often use the word person instead of being specific about a person's gender. So person is often used. So we are not singling a particular gender. Person. Another one is operative. An operative, a general term for a person carrying out a certain job. Officer, another one. So in the past we may have said policeman, fireman. These days we don't use those terms because they are gender specific. So here we go, Steve. Would you like to see some examples?
Go on then.
We have police officer. So police officer is singling out that particular role, regardless of whether or not it is done by a male or female. Police officer. So it is neutral. So the little word, the little letter at the end, N, refers to neutral. So police officer is the neutral term, either male or female. A police officer. I was arrested by a police officer. It could be either male or female. And then we have tradesperson, a person who does work. They carry out certain tasks for other people. Tradesperson. So What would we say in the past, Steve? What would we say in the olden days?
You'd have said a tradesman. Tradesman.
Yes.
A tradesman, a tradesman. Because a lot of these jobs in the past would have been carried out by men, because going back, 100 years or less than that.
Not even that.
Not even that. The traditional role for the man was to go out to work, and the traditional role for the woman was to stay at home.
Well, even I can safely say, Steve, during the 1990s, the tradesman was still used in general terms. So it is something that's only recently changed to a more neutral form, which is tradesperson.
A lot more women, of course, go to work now. That trend continued throughout the sort of 1960s, 70s, 80s, 90s in the UK. I'm talking about because that's the only experience I know. And you never used to see a female police. You never used to see a female police officer when I grew up. You'd never see somebody collecting your dustbins that was a woman, but now you do, because a lot of these roles can be done by both sexes.
Yes. A person who takes your rubbish is a refuse collector.
Yes.
But we used to say the dustman, because it was always a man. So
it was
you
a
would
man.
say, here comes the dustman.
Because in those days, it needed a lot of physical effort to collect your dustbins.
Okay.
No, it did. You used to have to carry them on your back. But now the machines do a lot of that work. So therefore, I'm not, I won't go any further with that.
Probably.
Palmyra says postman. Yes, some phrases you still use a lot. I've got no embarrassment using the word postman. The postman delivered our parcel today, because most of the time it is still a man.
Well, I will tell you something. We sometimes have a lady delivering the post here, and I still say postman, just because it's there, not because I'm saying that she should not be a postal worker, which, by the way, is the term we use now. So we say postal worker. So a person who is working for the post office, delivering or any other role. Here's another one, Steve. Manageress. So this one is not neutral. This one refers specifically to that gender, which is a female with authority, in a position of authority. Your boss. Manageress.
As opposed to a manager.
Yes.
You can still use the word manager to refer to a male or a female manager. You can still use that. But if you want to be specific, would you use that? Do people use the word manageress still?
If you were meeting someone you didn't know, and you are arranging something with a person you don't know, so what time? The manageress will meet you outside the office, so you know then that you are looking for a female, because if they said manager, you might assume that it's a man. So there are situations where it is important to specify whether or not you are going to see a lady or a man. So the manageress will clearly tell you that word says it's a woman you're looking for, not a male. So I think there are situations where it is useful to do that.
Like you've got there, actress.
Yes, that's an interesting one though, isn't it?
The word ESS on the end makes it a female. So actress is a female actor. Although I think now we don't use the phrase actress. I think
it's
as much as I think actors, like just male and female actors, like to be called actors.
Yes.
Now they don't tend to. I think it's because as well.
I'm trying to tell you, Steve.
Go on then.
So yes, actor or actress is still used commonly. However, And this is a kind of thing I want to mention quickly. There has been a pushback over gender-specific terms. So it's interesting, isn't it, Steve? Over
Yes.
the years, we've divided this, but now, slowly, we are pushing those things back together again, so there is only one word. So you are right, Steve. But actress is still used by many people who are in the acting profession. However, there is a slow push back against that. So now actor can refer to a male or female. So you are right, Steve. The other one, of course, is comedian. Comedian. Because a female comedian, a funny person, is comedienne. But many women now prefer to be called a comedian as well, the male form. So it's being pushed back to mean one thing, to have one word meaning either.
A lot of these phrases go in and out of fashion, don't they?
Yes.
Particularly at the moment.
Yes.
This gender-specific nature of professions.
Yes, exactly.
I think it depends on what country you're in, what part of the country you're in, what profession you're in, as to whether people get upset by using particular phrases. And it changes with the winds of politics.
Yes. I think it would be fair to say that this is a general Western thing in countries such as, well, European countries maybe, Britain, definitely, the United States. So we are talking from that point of view. Of course, if you go on a plane, which we will be doing in a few weeks from now when we go to Paris, you will see a cabin attendant.
Or as Driss says, a flight attendant.
Yes.
Thank you for that, Driss.
It used to be a stewardess. Steward and stewardess.
That's it. Steward being the male, flight attendant, stewardess being the female. But now they're all called flight attendants or cabin attendants.
That's it.
And of course, as Driss also says, a nurse now can be a man or a woman.
But that has always been the case.
Yes.
Nurse has never been gender specific.
It just so happens that most nurses have been women.
Yes. So that's actually almost a reversal of that whole idea. But men can be nurses. In fact, it's always happened. Men have been nurses. They assist in the treatment of people who are sick, normally in hospitals. So you can have male nurses, definitely. Bar person, a person who works in a nightclub, at the bar. We used to say barman, a barman. So quite often you would find a man working at a pub. It would be a man. Although, I'm going to be honest with you, Steve, when my father was running a hotel, we always had barmaids.
Right.
Barmaid. So that was the female. But now, of course, it's just bar person, a person who works behind the bar serving drinks. And we have salesperson. So what are you, Mr. Steve? Are you a salesman or a salesperson?
Well, I would always describe myself as a salesman. So yes, rather than when you say those words like a salesman, you tend to sort of pronounce it slightly differently, don't you? You don't go, I'm a salesman. You say, I'm a salesman. You sort of, the man becomes mun at the end. There's a slightly different pronunciation of it so that it doesn't sound so drawn out.
Yes.
Policeman, you tend to say. You don't say policeman. You say policeman.
Yes.
There's a slightly different pronunciation on the end there.
And then, of course, we have fire officer, as I mentioned earlier. So that is neutral. It is a neutral term, meaning anyone employed to put out fires.
Which traditionally would have been by a man, and you'd have said a fireman.
So again, yes, as a kid, as a child, I only ever saw policemen. I only ever saw firemen, I never saw females doing
because
those
those
jobs.
roles have changed over the years, haven't they?
Yes, definitely.
Those roles have significantly changed. You needed, policemen 100 years ago needed to be big, strong, and frightening.
Okay.
And if you were a fireman, you needed to be able to climb up ladders and do all sorts of stuff. But now there are different roles within those professions, which means that they can be done by both sexes.
Yeah.
And advances in technology means you don't necessarily need so much brute force.
That's it. Specialist equipment.
Specialist equipment, exactly.
Good. Here's another one. Instead of man being used to refer to humans, we are slowly moving towards other terms. So general terms for man, as in human beings. So we have slowly moved away from that particular word. We describe it as humanity, humankind, or of course people. So instead of saying man as the overall noun, we now use humanity, humankind, and people. However, if you look at proper reference books relating to certain topics, you will still see the word man used quite a lot, in fact, even nowadays. So it hasn't gone completely out of use, I will be honest with you. Modern uses of man include here we go, Steve.
Mansplain.
Mansplain.
The condescending manner of a man towards a woman. It's when a man is trying to explain something to a woman.
But
is that where the splain comes from?
Yes.
Like from explain.
But he's explaining it in a very simple way.
In a way that would be almost offensive.
Yes. Condescending.
Yes, if you were trying to explain, maybe a man wanted to explain to a woman how to drive, for example, he might do it in a condescending sort of way. It's almost like the offence on the side of the woman it derives from the fact that she would feel that the man thinks that she couldn't really do this particular task, or wouldn't be very good at it.
Or maybe something that he assumes she doesn't know.
So explains it in a sort of a condescending sort of way.
Yes, the point of view is the man thinks she can't possibly know that because she's a woman, so I will have to explain it to her simply.
Like learning to drive would be an example.
That's it.
Stop mansplaining. In other words, stop trying to explain something to me in that manner that you're doing it, in that sort of condescending, sort of almost mocking way.
Yes, patronising.
Patronising.
Good one.
And some women will get offended by that.
Yes. And we still have a couple of more. I can't believe we've run out of time nearly. We won't have time to talk about our controversial thing, unfortunately. Isn't that a shame? Modern uses of man include man up, a phrase used to express the action of being more assertive and aggressive.
You need to man up. If somebody, and that can be applied, that term just doesn't apply also to men. You can use that phrase towards a woman as well, but I think it typically tends to be used towards men. Man up. So if somebody was bullying you at work in some way, not necessarily physically, but maybe verbally, somebody was bullying you at work, and you went to a colleague, somebody might say, "Oh, for goodness sake, man up." In other words, assert yourself.
Be a man.
That's just an example. Be a man. Assert yourself.
I have to correct you, Steve. It's not really used towards a woman unless it's being used somehow sarcastically or in an offensive way. So I would never tell a woman to man up, because that would you would probably get slapped across the face or even worse.
Yes, it's usually used towards another man. It could be. It could be you. I mean, a woman might say it to a man. That would make a man feel particularly.
Well, if you're saying it to a man, yes.
Yes, that would make a man feel particularly.
Can I just say, women often say that to their husbands or maybe a man, just to say, "Come on, be a man. I want a real man. I don't want a sissy or a wimp. I want a real man." Lots of women want a real man. So they want that man to be more aggressive and assertive. It's time for you to man up and face your responsibilities. So there is a good use of the phrase man up. Finally, Steve, can you believe it? Finally.
I've got one as well, if this isn't it.
To do something man to man.
Oh.
A direct, uninhibited conversation between men. And men, there are many things that men find difficult to talk about. Isn't there, Steve?
Yes.
There are.
Like what?
Well, health. Maybe things connected to their feelings. Maybe their emotional feelings. Men don't like talking about health or maybe their feelings. They don't like to express how they feel about things. So maybe sometimes there is a situation where a man will ask another friend, a man, a male friend.
Yes,
I got there eventually.
It's a conversation, isn't it, that probably is only suitable for two men to have together, because it might involve certain topics. I mean, a typical, here's something my father always used to say to me now and then, and if a father says this to his boy or his son, I want to have, come on, son, sit down, we need to have a man-to-man talk.
Yes.
And that, you know that...
So that means there will be a sensitive issue being talked about, and to men being direct and uninhibited. It means you are talking about things that might be sensitive or difficult to talk about.
Yes.
So it is true. Men don't like talking about their health. And I would agree, I don't like it. I don't like talking about my health with anyone, really.
Well, if your father says he wants to have a man-to-man talk with you,
okay,
it's probably going to be to do with relationships between men and women.
The birds and the bees.
The birds and the bees.
That's it. Okay, Steve.
Or it could be about getting a job. Certain things that maybe your mother couldn't or maybe shouldn't talk to you about. It's the responsibility of the father to have certain conversations.
Yes.
A man-to-man. Let's have a man-to-man talk.
Yes. So normally something that is being said or discussed that is maybe sensitive or difficult to actually talk about. That, Mr. Steve, is that... Did you say you had one?
I've got one here, man cave.
Oh, okay.
A man cave.
Man cave.
Now, this is a popular phrase, certainly used in this country, to depict a place, a room, maybe a shed in the garden, where the husband can, let's just say, spend time away from his wife or his partner on his own, his man cave.
Yes.
And he might have, it's an area of solitude for a man.
It's a bit like Superman when he had his fortress of solitude.
Yes, and a man would go there, a husband would go there, and lots of you wives, lots of you women watching with husbands, your husband might have a man cave. Usually it's some separate area away from the house where he can be alone to do what men do alone.
And of course, there is another way of looking at it. The woman is very keen. She wants the man to have his own space, to have his own man cave.
Yes.
And then she can have the husband also out of the way as well.
Sometimes you just, for goodness sake, go to your man cave.
Yes. Stop bothering me.
And you might be doing some woodwork in there. The man might be doing some kind of, some hobby in there. A hobby where he doesn't want to be disturbed. He just wants to get on with his hobby. Or whatever else he's doing. A time for a bit of solitude, to be alone. And so I'm sure you've all got husbands that have a place of solitude, a man cave.
This is definitely something that exists in this country, because when people buy new houses, they always select the rooms that they are going to have for themselves. So the wife might have a room where she can do her craft, and the husband will have a room where he can escape from the wife. So he has a man cave.
And it'll have things in there that the wife wouldn't allow you to put up.
Yes.
Like pictures of cars or sort of objects to do with cars.
A pool table.
Yes, a pool table. Things that you wouldn't normally have in your living room, for example. But make the husband feel good.
Yes.
That's it, Mr. Duncan.
It's his escape.
Have you got a man cave?
Do I? Well, this is it. This is my man cave.
Yeah, that's your man cave.
The interesting thing is, this literally is my man cave. This is where I escape to when I want to get away from Mr. Steve.
It's quite healthy because you need when you've got a partner, you can't be together 24/7. It's not healthy. You'll soon get sick and tired of being around that person, and you just need some time out, some time for yourself.
Yes.
Time to escape to your man cave.
Good. Guess what, Steve? Guess what?
Is it all over for today, Mr. Duncan?
It is almost over. I'm going to put on the screen once again, just before we go, if I can find it, I'm going to put on the screen the details about or of the big rendezvous that is going to take place. We are meeting up, and the date is the 1st of June, Sunday, the 1st of June, is when the Paris rendezvous will take place. I know what you're thinking, Mr. Duncan. It is a long time off, but it will give you plenty of time to arrange your plans. Sunday, the 1st of June, we will be in Paris, talking to you live on YouTube, and maybe you will be with us as well. Incredible.
Are you still? Is the live stream still going? Is it, Mr. Duncan? Because the comments have stopped. So I'm just wondering whether...
No, we're still on, Steve.
We're all right. Okay, that's lovely. Everyone's gone to their man cave.
Yes.
That's what's happened. Lovely. Nice to see you all. And I look forward to being here again next week. Mr. Duncan, of course, has lots of things, surprises for you in the week, new lessons.
Yes, we have.
Please like them. Please make comments on the bottom.
Yes.
And hopefully, I will be here next week.
That's it. So it is on the screen at the moment. Like and subscribe. Give me a lovely like and also subscribe as well, so you will never miss anything that I do. Thank you, Steve. See you next week.
Ta-ta!
That was Mr. Steve. He is with us every Sunday, and it was a lively one. Sadly, we don't have time to talk about our thing that we were going to talk about, but guess what? We will discuss it next Sunday. We will do it next Sunday. So don't worry, I haven't forgotten about it. We will do it next week. Thank you for watching. See you later, and I hope you enjoy the rest of your day. The rain has stopped. I think it has. Yes, the rain has stopped, and it looks as if the sun is trying to come out, which is very nice when you think about it. Thank you for your time. Thank you for joining me. I am back on Wednesday, and it is the Lunar New Year on Wednesday, 29th, and a lot of people will be celebrating with the Chinese New Year also occurring, the Year of the Snake, which is the reason why I have a snake behind me right now. See you on Wednesday. Take care of yourselves. And of course, until the next time, we are all here together again. This is Mr. Duncan in England saying thanks for watching. See you soon. And of course, until the next time we meet, you know what's coming next. Yes, you do. Take care of yourselves. Keep that smile upon your face as you walk amongst the human race. Ta-ta for now. See you on Wednesday.